So if you think my day starts at the shop, it doesn't. It is 9 o'clock because I had to clean the pool before I came here to work out. Welcome back to another episode of Maxwell Video Games from me, Shane, show you guys the ins, the outs, and all about of owning your own retro video game store. And we're going to see about this Razer wireless controller. They paired with Xbox, but the customer wants to do Hall effects upgrade, so we're going to see if we can even get this to work. We don't know if we're going to be able to upgrade this or not, so I have to take a look at it. Looks like the right joystick's bad. Cool. Looks like a series. It just looks like a series. We could probably do this.
Sick.
Alright, taking a look at this. This is just a standard series controller, so we should be able to do that. It probably looks like an Xbox controller underneath, so I don't see any reason why we can't do it. Yep, just a regular Xbox series controller. Perfect. Alright, yes, Xbox One controller, all done. Next, we got a PS5 we got to take care of. On top of all the repairs I've been doing today, I've been doing with something else as well. As you can tell, there's just Pokemon stuff all over the place, because since Pokemon Bank is closing, I am transferring all my Pokemon from Pokemon Black, or actually White, no, Black, pretty much from Heart Gold to Black to Pokemon Bank. It actually goes from Black, transfer to Bank, Bank to Home. It's a pain, but it is officially done. I got all the Pokemon from, I'm talking Emerald. I think the oldest Pokemon I have is actually from Colosseum, which also was from like Ruby and maybe, yeah, Ruby for sure. I thought Sapphire, but I think mostly Ruby. Emerald I didn't get until later, so it was mostly Ruby to Colosseum, from Colosseum to Home now. Now, I actually don't know if there's any more Pokemon on Ruby or on Colosseum at all. I also have the bonus disc from Colosseum, but I also got to check some of these to see if there's anything else on any of these that maybe I want, because at this point, it's closing next month. Editor Shane here, just letting you know that he's wrong. It closes next year. So I got to use this opportunity as I see fit. I was going to literally play every single Pokemon game with my original, or some of the stuff from Colosseum, but it's never going to happen because honestly, I tried Black for a bit and I'm not interested in any of the Pokemon. So luckily, I have a beat one already, so I can transfer everything over. But I wonder if there's anything else on Ruby. Well, this whole box is all stuff that was obtained on this game from a trade, so these are all Pokemon that I need to move over to Pokemon Bank and then Home. Yay! Yay! I gotta plug in my GameCube too and see if there's anything on Pokemon Colosseum. I also never got to play this and beat it and transfer my Pokemon over to play this, which sucks because this is where I was thinking about starting. This or Emerald, and then playing this and getting some of those Pokemon over, but there's no way I'm going to beat this in like a month, if that. I guess now I'll have to wait until it comes on the Switch 2 to get those. So yeah, my Silver right there and my original Pokemon Red and don't have saves anymore. They're pretty much dead. So the only Pokemon, if it's on anything on here, it'd be on Pokemon. Actually, it wouldn't be even on Stadium 2 or Pokemon Stadium. Well, I'll definitely have to look tomorrow regarding my Stadium. And maybe even this Pokemon XD, see if there's anything on it. I just realized that to look at Pokemon Colosseum, I need a save file. I have no clue where my memory cards are. I probably will just mess around with that tomorrow because I don't know if they're at home or they're here in one of these boxes up here. I have no clue, but that'll be a tomorrow thing. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, I am back and I made a mistake. Not a big one, but I made one. Pokemon Home is closing down in February of next year. So I don't know why I'm in such a hurry, but that's a great thing because that means I get to play Pokemon XD. But I did find something. 3 of my memory cards. So let's see what's on these. Alright, before I left yesterday, I was messing around. So we're going to see what's on these 2 memory cards on this GameCube before we work on this GameCube. Memory card. Oh yeah. Tales of Symphonia. This one's definitely my memory card. There's XD, so there's a save on here for XD. I don't remember playing Pokemon XD. Let's see, this memory card didn't load. Nope, this memory card's just empty. Alright. Let's take a look at this one. No. Okay, well I found one of my memory cards, but this does have a Pokemon XD save file on it, which I don't remember because I got Pokemon Coliseum, which means there's still memory cards floating around here that have some of my save files somewhere. So let's grab my copy of Pokemon XD and load up the save file. Again, I don't remember playing it. So what we got going on here? Should boot right into it. I wonder if it just reads off of the first memory card. Continue. This is not me. Shadow Pokemon 18, Purified Pokemon 11. This also has potential stick drift. Let's go to Pokemon. Yeah. I don't name my Pokemon. I don't give them nicknames. So this is someone else's save file. We got Jolteon. Not a whole bunch. So this is not my memory card. That's cool. I found someone with a save file on Pokemon XD. I'm probably going to start my own, but that's cool. I found them. They're inside the orange GameCube. Those 2 are my memory cards. I found them. Okay, let's see what's on here. So these 3 are just extra memory cards. These aren't my original memory cards. Tales of Symphonia. There's Coliseum. NFL Street. Lost Kingdoms. This side has Chibi Robo, Hyper Grind. This one's a newer memory card. There's another Pokemon save for Pokemon Coliseum. Okay, let's go ahead and put Pokemon Coliseum in. See what we got on these save files. before I start on this GameCube. No, it shouldn't be a whole bunch. Oh, this one says Eli. This one is a different save file. Okay. Okay. Let's check this one. This one should be my save file. There it is. Let's see. Meowth, Gengar, Grimer. I think I moved a bunch of Pokemon over after I beat this. Let's see what's in the storage, though. Another Raikou. We got some Metagrosses. Oh, a Steelix. That's it. Okay. Might try to grab this Raikou. Maybe this Hitmontop and Metagross. So I can grab some of these guys. I don't remember if I have to purify them to trade them or not, though, which is going to be a problem. But that means I still have plenty of time to play this and deal with these, which I'm super excited about. Misunderstanding and I was wrong. Alright, so we're working on this GameCube that doesn't spin because the spindle is completely broken. So I have a replacement one right here. These things cost about 20 bucks, but we also don't know if this thing works. So I need to replace that first and see what the laser does if I need to fix that as well. Now this one's a little special too because it's been refurbished by GameStop. We're about to void if we remove this because it doesn't work. What are we gonna do? Oh, I'm so disappointed. Oh no, GameStop, help! What are we going to do? GameStop, help! Help, GameStop! The void! The void! Void if removed. Oh no! What are we gonna do? Help! Help! Guess GameStop didn't come and help. Actually, it would have been nice if you would have come over here and helped me because this thing needs some help, but I don't think I've ever seen GameCube screws that are bent. I don't know how that happens, but these things are bent. They were a pain to get out. Yeah, all three of these are just bent to Kingdom Come. This is the only straight one and a bunch of bent ones. I was wondering why the top was a pain to get off, so who knows what else we're going to find. It's like a little GameCube secret. It's dirty for sure. So I want to plug it in, give it power, and see if the laser actually moves first before I do anything else. And luck has it I was just messing around with a GameCube, so let's power this on. It gets power, so let's hit the switch. The laser looks like it's trying to read, but that spindle definitely is not doing anything. So we're going to get to the laser mechanism, replace the spindle, and see what it does. So we are to the motherboard for the laser assembly. This is what we need to take off right here, and we need to pretty much undo this clip right here and then take this off and then get to these. There's screws on the bottom. So here we are. We're going to take this off like so. Looks like there's also a tear in it, but take that off. Do the same thing to this one. Grab this and put it on here. And then we get to see if we need to replace the cap on the back side of this, see if the laser works. Well, I ran into a pickle. This one has it soldered on. This must be probably the different model or something. Yeah, for some odd reason they got rid of the clip and just soldered it directly on. I can try to desolder it and see if it'll fit in the hole. I could try. As long as the pins line up, it doesn't really matter. So I thought it was one piece. It's not. It's just a bunch of... Yeah, I'm not going to deal with it. If I really wanted to, I could probably figure it. I'm going to go see if I have another one, though, because it's way easier just to take this out and put a new one in than it is to desolder and try to make a new one. Well, I just looked through my box of parts, and these two are missing the spindle. I have no more spindles in here. I looked. I'm completely out of GameCube parts. Couple memory. Couple random stuff, but in general, I have no spindles. Which means I kind of can't fix this right now. At all. I'd have to order one off of eBay and get it delivered to us. That's just the beginning. I have no clue if this thing even reads. Well, then I'm back to square one. I might have to swap that ribbon cable for this one, solder that onto this board, and see if I can get it to work. Let's do it. Let's try. Alright, I'm going to try to desolder this and put it on here. Yeah, I'm going to try. I might not have to. This just popped off. I wonder if I could just pop this off and put this on here instead of dealing with this. Please tell me I can. Haha, you can. They just slide on. Woohoo! Alright. That one's for parts. Alright, let's plug this guy in and see if the laser works. Good thing I worked enough on these to know that I actually don't even need to put the whole bottom back together. Just to test it. So we're going to go ahead and plug this back in and see if the laser starts to read. Alright, let's go ahead and just plug it back in to test it. We'll grab a test game. Of course, we got to use James Bond. Agent Under Fire. Alright, let's turn it on. Spinning. It's not reading. Okay. I'm getting 0 reading from the laser whatsoever. So that means we need to do the cap swap really quick and see if we can get it to read. Some of you may be going, no, you don't have to do that. You just need to adjust the potentiometer on the back of the laser motherboard. That's not the problem. This potentiometer right here that you can adjust the power for the laser isn't the solution. It's kind of well, it's not the problem. It can be adjusted with it, but it still will cause more of a problem, and later down the road it will stop working. You don't need to adjust this. You need to change a capacitor on this motherboard that's causing the actual problem. C408. So we're going to take this off, grab our replacement one. These are 10 volt 47 microfarad capacitors. We have a whole bunch of them. We're going to take this off, replace it with one of these, and now we have to question whether or not someone's already adjusted the potentiometer, but we'll find out after. Now I've replaced a whole bunch of these on this channel, but I'll show you again how it's done. Grab your pliers, tweezers, whatever you want, and twist, and twist, and twist, until the legs from the bottom of the capacitor pop off. Like so, right there. Now this is the bottom of the plastic of the capacitor, and what we've tried to do is keep these pads, these two, from moving as much, and this is the best technique I've found so far to do that. You can desolder these, but this is the best technique I've had and the success I've had to just twist, and then we'll clean up these two pads, put more solder, and then put a new cap. So as you can see, we've cleaned the pad, we put new solder on. Now we're going to take this capacitor, and it's going to go the same orientation. The negative side's going to go on the left side, just like this one up, and the positive's going to go on the right side. So this one right here is the same direction. Make sure you line up the black on the right side, or else it won't work. And just like that, the capacitor has been attached to the motherboard. I'm going to clean it up a bit, and then we're going to test it. All right, let's go ahead and put it back on. Grab my game. And see what it does when we turn it on. And it just made the right noise. And of course I got to adjust the calendar. Alright, I'm going to see also if I can get the noise I'm always talking about when the GameCubes make it It's a very specific noise. They make almost a chirp. So I'm going to turn it on. Now, that's not the chirp noise. That was my fingernail. I don't know what just happened, but there it goes. Okay, now it's not working. Great. Let me clean off the laser. And maybe, yeah, clean it off. All right, we're going to try this one more time. It's extremely faint, so I need to adjust the laser a little bit, but it did load. I don't have a controller plugged in to get through the calendar part of this, but let me set it up so it's working. So just so you guys can see and hear it again. Barely a chirp, but it does read. I'm going to adjust the laser potentiometer because this is too low of a chirp for a good working GameCube. It also means I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to do just the slight with a flathead screwdriver, or just the tip of one, and adjust and go clockwise and see what it does. See if it gets louder or doesn't work. Because we're right at the end of it not working because the laser has been adjusted probably. Still going to load, just wasn't great. I'm going to adjust it a little bit more. I'm going to come counterclockwise a bit, come back so we can get it. There we go. That's a good chirp. So I'm going to try to set it up so you can hear the chirp one more time. This is a good chirp. This is a chirp you want to hear. This is the loudness you want to hear it, and how strong it is when it comes to reading the laser. I have the mic set up right on top of it pretty much. I didn't even make a chirp that time. There we go. It's still not super loud, which tells me something else. And because I've done this before, I know that if you do the cap and it chirps but not as loud, it's actually the cap behind it that also needs to be replaced. So we're going to do that and see if we can get a better, stronger laser out of this. All right, the second cap has been replaced. Let's see if we can get a better chirp out of it, more stronger. Still really low. I'm going to adjust the pot again, bring it up. And now it doesn't work. Bring it down. Maybe it's just a quiet laser. Oh, that's funny. Alright. Maybe it's just a really quiet laser. I'm not used to the lasers being this quiet. Alright. I know. It still will play. I don't like it. I'm going to bump it up a bit. I like that better. That's pretty much where it's supposed to be. So there we go. We got the GameCube working. We need to put it all back together and do a final test for it. But in general, we got the laser working. It's not as loud as what I like to usually hear, which could be an indication of the actual laser going out. That cap replacement 100% brings it back to life. It happens all the time. Sometimes I had to replace both of those capacitors. This time I did. It didn't make a difference. So that tells me that there's probably maybe the lasers going out. It's usually a lot louder than that. Especially if it's been adjusted already and constantly been over voltaged, it could cause damage to the laser, which can happen. I do have still a couple lasers. I don't know if they're working or not, but I do have some lasers that we can mess around with. Sometimes the motherboards are really bad to the point where there's more problems than just replacing the capacitor. But this one, I'm going to put back together, test it fully, make sure all the buttons and everything are working, and move on to the next repair. Now, I can't put these jank screws in here, so I'm going to get some replacement screws, 3 of them to replace the screws in here for the customer, because I can't put those screws back in. They are extremely difficult to take in and out, so we're going to find some new ones to replace. Luckily, I got a few in this baggie. And of course, we got another problem. The bent screws screwed up the threads on the inside of this thing. So I've been trying to screw these new threads in. They're just dead. There's like no threads on any of these anymore. This is just going straight in and out. There's nothing to attach to. That's awesome. So like, essentially, they screwed up the threads so much that they're practically non-existent. Alright. When it comes to stuff like this, especially plastic, there's a couple things you can do. You can refill the hole and re-tap it. I usually get super glue, put it inside the hole. I'll put the threads through and let them dry, and then they should have something to batch on. You can also melt the inside or put something in there that's melted, like melted plastic. Refill it up and re-tap it as well. So there's a couple things. So we're just going to do the super glue method right now. So once the super glue hold, this thing will be held on, but the screws aren't coming out and they're not bent. So let's go ahead and finish. I'll clean up this a bit and then test it one more time. All right, we clean this guy up. We're going to do one final test and make sure everything's working. Perfect. Alright, we replaced the spindle, got the laser working. Next is this guy. We are doing an HDMI port on it. Is that what's going on? This port looks fine. This is the Xbox One S. X. Get the new thermal paste on here, and then give this one more test. Hopefully there's no issues with the TDP chip, which is the chip that deals with the HDMI, which happens on these quite a bit. Usually you can find out if the HDMI looks good and you take the hard drive out and it goes into safe mode and it shows up on the TV, that means a hard drive problem. If it doesn't show up on the hard drive, it could be a HDMI, or it could be the HDMI retimer chip. And no, there's no way that I know of to test capacitors around that to make sure it is that problem that I know of. So, I mean, there's probably a way. Actually, now that I think about it, there's probably a way, but we just don't do it. And of course, usually if the HDMIs look good, I didn't see too much damage. This is probably a retimer chip. I just tried it and it did not boot into the safe mode at all. So now it's been quite a bit since I've had to do one of these retimer chips, but I think I still have some floating around somewhere, so I gotta find them. And yeah, there they are, our replacements. So we're going to take this one off, this guy, and replace it with a new one. Let's see if it works, because that is a common problem with these. It's the retimer chips, especially when the HDMIs look fine, which this one does. So, all right, we got the retimer chip all done, and look we got a screen. All right, let's plug in the hard drive and see if this thing boots. All right, moment of truth. Power. Look at that. Let's make sure it's working all the way. Come on. Come on. Hurry up. Shouldn't matter if the disk drive's not in it, I don't think. Does it? I don't think it matters. Maybe it does. Oh, it does not. All right, I'm gonna go get a controller. All right, it is the following day, and I've been here for like an hour pretty much. Devin started this yesterday, is getting this GameCube all cleaned up. It's in poor condition, but we had to like super glue this post. This thing's in rough condition for sure, but we wanted to get one out. It's a little bit cheaper than we normally would because of the condition. We normally would also just swap this whole case, but we don't have any cases for that model. We only have a case for another model, so we wouldn't be able to do anything. So we're just going to sell it as it. It's been working. Laser just got redone. We did the cap on it, cleaned it all up. It's actually been deep cleaned. So this thing's in pretty good shape. Besides the case, it's in good shape. Controllers we're working on right now. I'm doing 360 controllers because right now we have none in backstock. And I am trying to get these 3 going. I have 2 of these already dried and cleaned. This one has a left bumper issue. So I'm going to take this apart. We're going to clean the bumper, see if I can get it to work better. If I can't, then I literally have to replace the whole entire bumper button. So we can do that if we need to. I try not to as much as I possibly can. So let's take a look at this bumper and see how bad it is. Wait, he's got the... Oh no, you guys bought the... Really?
We didn't know.
It's just gonna smell like queso bowls the whole day now.
Yeah. Is that a bad thing? You can have that.
Alright, they showed up exactly at the same time too, which is funny. Alright, we got the controller situated, and this one's the left bumper. So I'm gonna clean it up really quick, put some isopropyl alcohol down into this button, and see if we can get it to press better. Alright, so I could test it without putting it back in the shell and putting a battery on it. We have a voltage tester right here with amps and everything, so we can actually hook up our test clips. So turn it to 3 volts. Right now there's no amperage because it's not doing anything, but if you want to make sure it's working, tap them together and look, it starts doing amps. So you know it's working. So on the back of here, there's actually a plus and a minus on these controllers, so you can hook it up properly. So again, minus, plus, make sure they don't touch, and we need to get a button. Hold on. Let's see, GameCube, here we go. There it goes. Connects. We already got the software up. So let's check that right bumper. Oh yeah, it's pressing way better now. So it was just dirty. Look at it go. Left bumper. Perfect. Now, if it wasn't working or not being consistent as well after cleaning, I would just replace it. It's just desoldering the button itself and putting a new one on. We usually take the buttons from the right and left triggers of like SPs. They tend to fit. It's the same size. We just give them a little clickier because we use like really good switches, which one button will sound really cool and the other one kind of not so cool. And just in case you want to know what that means these are a lot more tactile buttons than your typical like 360 controller came with. So they're not as clicky. Oh no, let's see. There's that button. And then we got the other one. Oh, I actually don't even know if these are the clicky ones. Hold on. These are. Oh, they're really loud. They're clicky. We like them. All right, we got that one out. We got to get the other two out now. Essentially, like sometimes the plastic on these bumpers on the 360 in particular, they're just plastic little. Let me show you. This is literally the buttons. That's just little plastic tabs that attach to the front plate of the 360 controllers, and these things get tweaked and bent and pretty messed up all the time, so you have to like kind of bend them back into shape. That was why the button wasn't quite working right. It was because this was all twisted up. Kids throw them, beat them up. That wasn't fair condition to begin with, so that was the reason why it wasn't pressing very well. I've never seen this. There's electrical tape holding this thing together. I have no clue. We're not doing anything. We're just making sure it's getting power or even coming on, but this thing is rough. Yeah. All right, we're just testing to see if it even gets power or not. I'm going to do our USB Type-C power. Make sure the pins are good. Oh. Yeah, it's not even connected. That's not good. The charge port isn't even connected. I have never. Yeah. It can't get power because the charge port's not even working. Oh, that makes sense. I don't even know why I plugged my thing in there. Look. There it is. It's just crunched. I lied. We will be taking a look at this. All right. So I've got all the tape off and everything. I really thought this rail was destroyed, but it's not. The Joy-Con is. We think it put that kind of back together better. Grandma put duct tape around it to keep it hauled, which is great. You know what? This thing, I bet this still works. But let's go ahead and we took the back off. We got to get to the battery and see if this thing even turns on. All right, moment of truth. We got our charged battery in here. We took the electrical tape off. And let's see if it turns on.
And if your Shane's going to have a lot of fun.
Oh, it's coming on. It's booting up. Yeah. Cool. Hold on, we gotta try it. This one's gonna be good. Let me try this green controller. Oh, it has 0 power. What about this one? Yeah, they're both dead. Alright, never mind. Volume. Still working. Yeah, it still works. The miracle of the electrical tape. Alright, we've just concluded that this thing needs a new charge port, which makes sense considering how wiggly it is. We'll have to let the customer know and see what they want to do. We're also going to recommend a new Joy-Con for this green one, but it actually went back together perfectly fine. It works, so. Alright, we're done. We got 3 GameCube controllers. They're drying. Gonna be put back together hopefully by me tomorrow. That's gonna get done by me, and then I need these controllers in back stock tomorrow as well.